Welcome back to All Again, and in this video I want to talk about one of my favourite nu metal albums of all time. It is of course Linkin Park Hybrid Theory. So it was released in the year 2000 and it was a debut album by the nu metal band Linkin Park. To date it has sales of over 32 million equivalent units worldwide, which is phenomenal, breathtaking stuff. It won a Grammy Award for the best hard rock performance of the song Crawling. And it got to number 1 in the US and New Zealand when it was released, but it got to the top 10 in 15 countries worldwide, and it's gone 12 times platinum in the USA at the time of this video. So it was released through Warner Brother Records, produced by Don Gilmore, and recorded at NRG Recording in North Hollywood. The band lineup for this one was Chester Bennington on vocals, Mike Shinoda, who was pretty much the musical director of the band and the mastermind behind a lot of the music and the songwriting. So Mike, he appeared on vocals. He was also rapping, keys, keyboards, programming, samples, and a lot more besides some rhythm guitar as well. Brad Delson played guitar on this album, and Rob Bourdon played drums. Joe Hahn played synthesizers and turntables and samples, and then the bass player Dave Farrell actually didn't make the recording session, so Brad Delson, who played guitar, had to play bass for this album, but then Dave Farrell joined the band shortly thereafter and has remained with them ever since. So the standout tracks on this album for me, well, like the 4 singles are just fantastic on it. So you've got One Step Closer, Crawling, Paper Cut, and In the End. Each of these songs are fantastic. But to be honest, I was listening through the album earlier for this review, and I have to say there's not a bad song on the album. Like it really stands up from start to finish. So this album was at the forefront of the nu metal movement in the late 90s, early 2000s. And the style of this album is really pulling from a lot of different directions. So I think Korn were a major influence on the sound of this album. So there's a lot of rapping from Mike Shinoda, but there's also a lot of really high-pitched screaming and shouting and roaring from Chester Bennington. And it's just, you get so much anger from this album from listening to it. You can just hear what the band are going through at the time, and it's really, really heavy. The guitars are detuned, which was a very common thing in nu metal. There's no guitar solos, there's no blues licks or anything like that. It's just all about the rhythm, the groove, and getting that heavy sound. So that's the reason why they played with detuned guitars, and Korn were one of the first ones to kind of pioneer that detuned sound with their 7 strings. So there was a lot of samples, electronic drums, sequencing, programming used as well, and Mike Shinoda would have brought a lot of that to the table. And I'd say there was extensive use of, Pro Tools or whatever, Logic, whatever digital audio workstation was available at the time. But this album seems to me, it wasn't an album that was just worked out in a room with musicians. I think, like from reading some notes on it, Mike Shinoda actually sat down, programmed and arranged all the songs on his own, and then brought them to the band, and then they were able to add and take away different things. But certainly a new way of writing songs. And of course with nu metal, the whole rapping side of things was coming into it. Obviously Limp Bizkit had been popular, and Korn. So Linkin Park were kind of following that template and making it their own. But this album, honestly, this album is probably the best nu metal album of the whole genre that came out. It's just fantastic to listen from start to finish. It's really, really well produced. The songs are fantastic. There's even nuances within the songs, so it's not boring. Like you take a song like In the End, it's got like fantastic piano and other instruments in it there, and it's a great rock song as well as a nu metal song. And then you've got your classic nu metal songs as well. So it's a fantastic album. I really enjoyed listening to it for the review. But let me know in the comments, what do you think of this album? Are you a fan of nu metal? Or do you not like the genre at all? And if you don't like it, why not? And if you do like it, what do you like about it? So please leave a comment below. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so and leave a like, because it helps the YouTube algorithm. And I'll talk to you on the next one.